Hello folks and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Today we venture back into the shadows of urban legends. Whispers say she hunts those who learn about her, relentless, silent, and unstoppable. The White Death isn't just a ghost story, it's a curse. Dare to watch, but be warned, some legends don't like being remembered. In the hushed whispers of 1,000 sleepless nights, a name sends shivers down spines: the White Death. A terrifying specter, cloaked in white, haunting the darkest corners of our cities. Her eyes, hollow pits of despair, pierce the veil of reality. Her touch, a promise of icy oblivion. The White Death, a name whispered in fear. A legend born from the shadows. Her story, a chilling reminder that some things are best left undisturbed. The White Death's tale began in the winter of 1977. A time when the city of Chicago was gripped by an unusually harsh winter. The snow fell relentlessly, covering the streets and buildings in a thick, suffocating blanket of white. It was during these long, cold nights that the first whispers of her presence began to circulate. Chicago shivered under a thick blanket of snow, its residents huddled indoors, seeking warmth and comfort. The city seemed to be in a state of hibernation, but something sinister lurked in the shadows. Whispers of a ghostly figure draped in white began to circulate. They spoke of a woman, her face pale and her eyes hollow, who wandered the streets at night. She was always seen from a distance, her presence sending chills down the spines of those who caught a glimpse. She appeared in alleyways, at the edge of parks, always watching, always waiting. Her movements were slow and deliberate, as if she was searching for something or someone. The stories varied, but the fear was always the same. Some dismissed it as an overactive imagination, fueled by the long, dark nights and the isolation brought on by the relentless winter. They laughed off the tales, attributing them to the boredom and restlessness of being cooped up indoors. Others claimed to have seen her, their faces etched with terror. They spoke of her cold, lifeless eyes, and the way she seemed to glide over the snow without leaving a trace. Their fear was palpable, and it spread quickly through the community. The legend grew with each sighting. People began to avoid certain streets and parks, especially after dark. The White Death became a symbol of the winter's cruelty, a reminder of the dangers that lurked in the cold, dark corners of the city. The White Death was real, and she was coming for them. The fear she instilled was not just a product of the imagination, it was a reflection of the harsh, unforgiving winter and the isolation it brought. Her legend was a chilling reminder that some stories are born from the darkest nights and the coldest winters. One by one, the stories surfaced. They were whispered in hushed tones, weaving a tapestry of fear that spans decades. A lone jogger, pursued by the sound of dragging footsteps, only to find no one there. The jogger's heart raced, every shadow seemed to come alive, and the darkness felt suffocating. The footsteps grew louder, echoing in the still night, but when they turned around, there was nothing but an eerie silence. A young couple in a parked car, startled by a pale face pressed against the window. They had been enjoying a quiet evening, but the sudden appearance of the ghostly visage sent chills down their spines. The face vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind foggy imprints on the glass, and a lingering sense of dread. Each newly reported encounter seemed more chilling than the last, further driving the widespread fear throughout the city. People spoke of shadowy figures lurking in the corners of their vision, of whispers that seemed to come from nowhere, and of a cold that seeped into their very bones. The fear was palpable, and the stories continued to spread like wildfire. The witnesses all spoke of the same chilling details: the long white dress, the piercing white eyes. They described a woman who seemed to float above the ground, her eyes glowing with an unnatural light. She appeared in the dead of night, her presence heralded by a sudden drop in temperature and an overwhelming sense of dread. The feeling of being watched, hunted by something ancient and evil. It was as if the very air around them was alive with malevolence. They felt eyes on them, even when they were alone, and the sensation of being followed never left them. The city, once a place of solace for its residents, became a realm of nightmares. Their stories, fragments of a terrifying truth, painted a picture of a being beyond comprehension, a creature that defied logic and reason, existing in the shadows and feeding on fear. The tales, though varied, all pointed to one undeniable fact: Something sinister was out there, lurking in the darkness, waiting to strike. Fear gripped the city. The White Death became a constant, terrifying presence. People avoided going out alone at night. Parents kept their children close. The once vibrant city, now held hostage by an unseen terror. The police dismissed the sightings as pranks or hallucinations. But the fear was real. The White Death had burrowed her way into the collective consciousness of the city. She was a reminder that even in the heart of civilization, darkness lurked. The White Death's story resonated far beyond Chicago. The legend seeped into popular culture, inspiring books, movies, and television shows. Her image, a chilling symbol of urban terror, appeared everywhere. In most adaptations, the White Death often symbolized societal fears and anxieties. She became a blank slate onto which creators could project their own interpretations of urban decay, social isolation, and the unseen forces that haunt our lives. Urban legends, like the White Death, endure for a reason. They tap into our primal fears, our anxieties about the unknown. They offer a glimpse into the dark corners of our minds, where anything is possible. The White Death story, though fictional, serves as a cautionary tale. A reminder that even in the brightest of cities, darkness can lurk. And that sometimes, the things that scare us the most are the things we cannot see. The White Death remains an enigma. Her story is shrouded in mystery, a tale that has been whispered through the ages. Some say she was a vengeful spirit, others believe she was a misunderstood soul seeking peace. But no matter the version, her presence is felt by all who hear her name. Is she real, a figment of our collective imagination? Or perhaps a manifestation of our deepest fears? The stories vary, but the fear remains the same. Each retelling adds a new layer to her legend, making it even harder to distinguish fact from fiction. The answer, perhaps, is less important than the question itself. What matters is the impact of her story on those who hear it. The White Death has become a symbol, a representation of the unknown and the unknowable. She embodies the fears that lurk in the darkest corners of our minds. Her legend is a reminder that some mysteries are never meant to be solved. They exist to keep us questioning, to keep us on edge. And in that sense, she is very real. Her legend serves as a chilling reminder that some stories never truly die. They evolve, they adapt, and they find new ways to terrify us. And as long as there are those who believe, the White Death will never truly be gone. She will continue to live on in our stories, our fears, and our imaginations. And that is a wrap on the urban legend of the White Death. Any Chicagoans out there with an encounter to share? Thank you for joining me today on another delve into the dark shadows. I hope you found the urban legend of the White Death informational. Please like and subscribe, and certainly share your comments. Until next time.